Okay, we're going to do a quick self-introduction. We're going to go across the board. We have Jim from Ward Service. How you doing, Jim?
Good, really good. Yeah, I'm Jim from Ward Service, Monrovia, California.
Next, we have Ali. How you doing, Ali?
I'm very good. I'm Ali from Olive Auto Center in Burbank.
Thank you, Ali.
Hey, bye.
Next, we have Gene Morrell.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Gene Morrill, Certified Auto Specialist in Glendora.
Thank you, Gene. Norm, tell us
Uh,
about 30 seconds about what you do.
I'm a CPA. We do a lot of monthly financials. We do payroll, taxes, and also business broker now, helping clients sell and buy business. Robert Blyden CPA. Thank you.
Thank you, Norm. Next, we have Mark. Mark, how you doing?
How are you? I'm Mark from Mark's Independent Service in Chatsworth, California. Thank you.
And we have Gary. Gary's muted. How you doing, Gary?
Up at the top.
Hi everybody. I'm Jerry from One Stop Auto Care in Los Angeles. Nice to see you all.
Thank you. Next, we have Shannon. How you doing, Shannon?
Hi, everybody. I'm Shannon Devery with Digital Financial Group. I'm your credit card processor in the group. I'm the one that pays your dues every year. And I'd love to give a statement review if you're not processing with me. And I won't bring the dogs to your shop.
Thank you, Shannon. We have Dan Guy.
Dan Guy with Yorbaland Auto Service, Chapter 48 President, and
Travis Guy with Yorbaland Auto Service and the chapter representatives, chairman, and 2021 board sitting on the board of directors.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for attending. And we have John. How you doing, John? Accurate Auto Works.
John Smaldridge, Accurate Auto Works, are right here in Pasadena.
Thank you, John. We have Mr. Randy.
Randy Lewis, world famous Jasper Engines, and one of your board members.
Thank you, Randy. Next, we have Tim and Johanna.
Hi guys, my name is Tim Shakarian, and this is my beautiful wife, Johanna Reichert from Beamer PhD Motorsports in Pasadena. We've been part of the ASCCA Association for about 5 years. I'm your chapter representative, and happy to be here and happy to see so many faces. Jerry from One Stop, awesome to see you, brother. John Gustafson, thank you. And House Automotive, thanks for joining us. So welcome everybody, here we are.
Thank you, Tim and Johanna. Next, we have Valerie. Valerie, you're muted.
Unmute yourself.
There we go. Hi, I'm Valerie from City Tire Auto Care in Pasadena. Tom had some prior engagements he had to go to, so I'll be representing us today.
Thank you very much. Valerie's a new member, just joined the chapter. Very much to have you on board, Valerie. Next, we have Mr. Darren Gilbert. Darren's, okay, Darren's not gonna, there we go.
Hey everyone, Darren from Gilbert Motor Service in Alhambra. Good to see everybody. Glad to be at a meeting once again. Hopefully soon we all get to see each other in person.
Thank you very much, Darren. Next, we have House. He's signing up to be a new member hopefully soon. How are you doing, Mr. House?
Hey guys, thanks. I'm good. Thank you for having me, and thanks Tim and Joseph inviting me to this.
What is your name?
My name is Greg from House Automotive. We're in Pasadena and in Singapore.
Thank you very
much. And John.
John is in listen only mode. He typed in the chat here. He said, I'm John Gustafson, Gustafson Brothers Auto in Huntington Beach. Tonight I am audio challenged.
And for those of you that don't know John Gustafson, he runs an awesome operation in Orange County. If you haven't been to his facility, you ought to check it out.
He's had a couple team weekends there. Been absolutely fantastic team weekends. Anybody that missed out and didn't go, you missed a really good time. Thank you, John. Mikey B. Mikey B is driving, so we don't know how much we're going to get out of him. So moving on.
He's Mike Bedrosian from Lex Master Tech in Pasadena, also a board member. Our board members are here tonight, Jim Ward, Gene Moore. I'm looking along here. Randy, Tim and Johanna, Darren and Kirk and Mike. So they're our board members who represent you.
And those of you that want to join the board, you're always welcome.
Next, moving on. Gene, would you like to give a quick government affairs report?
Absolutely. As always, fortunately, our legislation is in recess right now, so they're not out there making any more wacky bills. Remember, they're able to produce 5,600 bills every 2 years in a 2-year session. So it's a real job for your government affairs committee to stay on top of that. We're fortunate to have Jack Maladonoff as our lobbyist. He points us in the right direction, gives us bills to watch. We had a couple of wins this year. SB 1447 gives a $1,000 tax credit for hiring or rehiring an employee over the next 3 months. So that's something to consider if we supported that. The governor signed that. The workers' comp bill for the coronavirus that we opposed, the bill would increase the cost, putting the presumption on us instead of the employee if they're come down with COVID. The governor did sign that. Also, employee notification, we oppose that. It would require public and private employers to notify all employees and subcontractors within 1 business day about possible exposure. So that's kind of a challenge. The hazardous waste bill we opposed and the governor vetoed it, so that was a win for us. That would have created another board of environmental safety within Cali EPA to create a task force for new fees on hazardous waste. So that's a good one. One we opposed as well is they expanded the California Family Leave Act, which takes it from 8 weeks to 12 weeks. If that just happened to us, one of our employees had a baby, and I think it happened to Jim Ward as well. Our employees took off 8 weeks unpaid, and that can really be challenging for your business. They've expanded it to 12 weeks, and now you have to guarantee their job back, whereas the previous bill you did not. So that was signed by the governor. The Bureau of Auto Repair and Senator Lowe have been working on a trusted dealer program, which would grade us A, B, C, D, like the restaurants. We've pretty much convinced him that that's not a good idea. And Jack Maladonoff and your Government Affairs Committee is working to come up with a different program for next year. So we're excited that we're kind of on the right side of the fence with that. CAWA is working on a vehicle safety program. They're starting with salvage vehicles, getting that program going, and they're trying to transfer that to all cars. So that's to be seen in the future. The Bureau of Auto Repair is moving on with their cite and fine regulations. We're trying to make sure that you just don't have a bureau guy walk in and say you're in violation and here's a a bill, a fine for doing something wrong. We're trying to create a fair process for appeal. So we're not just bullied by some rogue BAR person. We have some rights by non-BAR personnel, a right to a hearing. So Jack is working really, really hard on that. That's scheduled October 22nd, I believe, is our next Bureau of Auto Repair advisory meeting. So we'll wait and see what comes out of that. I will send you an email. If you're a smog program, the new equipment is going to be talked about at the October 22nd BAR meeting. They're going to want, a vane reader and a camera. So those will cost you about $500 from what I understand. And another thing that we have our vote coming up. We have many propositions on the ballot. One that our association has taken a stand against and signed on with Prop 15 to oppose that. And most of you know because I've been bombarding you, and I hope you're not getting mad at me, but I want you guys to be informed. I want you to make good decisions. You don't have to agree with what I send out, but I expect you to read it and make a decision and exercise your right to vote. But Prop 15 would really hurt our businesses by taking away the Proposition 13 portion for commercial and industrial buildings, which means if you're in a triple net lease, you could be $1,000 a month or more per month raise if your landlord bought the building very low and is assessed at a much higher building rate. So super important that you're informed. I will keep sending stuff out. If you don't understand, if you need help, I just sent out, hot off the presses, judges are always a challenge to figure out who to vote for. I got a hold of some people that I trust, sent out the judges for LA County, because I'm in LA County. If you're in a different county, of course, you'll have to find something else. But so I deal with some trusted folks, and they make sure that they vote in the way businesses should vote. So share it, spread it around, let people know. Remember, the Prop 15 people have like 45 million. We have 15 million. So pretty lopsided battle. There's going to be a lot of press on why, we should help the schools with Prop 15, when in reality, no money goes to the schools for 2 to 5 years, and it may be 35%. So it's really not a good thing. And the last thing on government affairs is the Right to Repair Act is being spread around. I sent out a video on the Right to Repair Act through the Carm Capriato show. It's pretty interesting. So if you have a chance, look at that. And again, like Tim always mentions, we're always looking for volunteers, whether you are on the chapter board, the automotive associations, government affairs, education committee, a board member, all kinds of positions. So I'm done with that. So I'll move on real quick. And I'm also on the board for the ASCCA5, which is your education foundation. To date, we've given 229 scholarships, over $126,000. So you guys should be proud of that. Our car donations are down. So we need you to go out in your back lot, find all those old junkers and donate them to the foundation. We're putting together a flyer so you can start hitting your customers up so we can try and get our car count back up. And again, as always, we're always looking for folks to be on the Education Foundation. All of this is a little time consuming, but so rewarding. And I think Tim is our cheerleader for that. He started out a few years ago, and he's got his fingers in almost everything. And he'll tell you how the benefit of being involved just enhances, you personally, your life, and of course the industry. And that's what we're all here for. So with that, I'll be quiet. Again, you have my number, my cell phone, my shop phone, my email. Text me, call me. If you have any questions on any of the bills, on how to, if you want advice on which way to vote, I'm happy to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gene. Pat DeRay has also he spoke last month in our meeting. He's actually been doing other meetings. He did one with Rocky last week. I know Tim was on it, and I know Mark was on it, but each time he speaks, he talks about different aspects and different things to do. He's given his time to the organization, so we got to really respect him for staying in touch with the organization, trying to help us instead of just be against us. He's really working with us, and we got to really thank him and thank our organization for being involved with the bar chief. Okay, moving on. Tim, how would you like to talk about some program seminars?
Program seminars, I think due to the elections coming up in 2020, which is on everyone's mind, we're going to do a open forum since it falls on the first Tuesday of the month. So our next chapter meeting is going to be an open forum. We'll have a subject matter as to what that is. And just like all the other Zoom meetings that we've had, and I agree with you, if you don't put into it, you don't get anything out of it. So if you're there, you show up, you get the information. A lot of that information is enough to help keep you going when you need it. So next month is going to be open forum. I would welcome all kinds of feedback from the chapter as to what you guys want to discuss. Jerry, your input's very important. Greg from House, John Gustafson, all of you guys. I'm so looking forward to hear what Bob has to say, because every time I'm on these meetings, I learn something new. And if you've learned to implement this and you take it back to your shop and you figure out how you can make it work for you, that's where the benefit is. And that's where Gene's talking about. So thank you for the leaders before me that came and the push that you guys keep encouraging us to, because me, Valerie, Shannon, all the other shop owners that are putting forth that effort, we see the result when we give in as well. So Valerie's bobbing her head. She knows what I'm talking about, because I know Thomas and I talk on a regular basis. So Paul, thanks for joining us. This is really, really awesome, guys. This is the time. A couple of years ago, not even a couple of years ago, at the last team meet weekend where we had at Gustafson Brothers, WorldPac, the president of WorldPac stood in front of the group and he said, the next 5 years are the most profitable for auto repair. We had no idea. I'm sure all of you guys' shops are busy. So take this to heart, apply it, learn to implement it, and it will make you money. If anything else, it will make you a better individual, because we need all this encouragement. So next month is going to be an open forum. More to follow for December in 2021. Oh boy, I can't wait to see what's coming up next. Gene, back to you.
Gene, how would you like to take over?
All right, I'm going to introduce our speaker today. Bob Cooper, a native Ohioan, started his career as a technician in a struggling Cleveland, Ohio shop that he later purchased and built into one of the most successful shops in America. That doesn't sound like any of us, does it? No. So, Bob was an experienced drag racer in Cleveland and started a second business doing performance driveline work for many of the nation's top fuel racers. He moved out here to San Diego, and he, having a passion to help other shop owners, in 1990 he founded Elite, the industry leader in helping shop owners build more profitable, successful businesses that allow them to reach their personal goals and elevate the industry at the same time. He also has grown Elite worldwide from a startup company to an organization that now helps shops worldwide. So he has folks all over the world right now that he works with. Elite Worldwide is proud of the industry polls that show 97% of his course attendees rank his sessions as excellent. Our chapter was fortunate for many years. We used to have Bob come down to Pasadena monthly, about every 6 weeks, and he would put on a personal seminar for, there's about 25 of us, and some of you here, I don't see many, but a lot of us were looked forward to Bob and having a couple hours of his time, and he just had to quit doing that, but that was a real joy for a lot of us. He hosted a webinar this morning at 10 o'clock that was outstanding. And guess how much it was? It was zero. He did that because he partners with the right people. He wants the information to get out. He's a true leader and wants to help folks in our industry. Personally, I've been using Elite's programs for over 25 years and have benefited in just so many ways I can't even list them. And Bob bases his program on the principles of ethics and transparency. And if you know this man, you'll know that's true. I have to say, he not only asks his clients to follow the highest ethical standards, but every member of his staff and Bob himself will not compromise his character for any reason. His moral compass is always in the right direction. This is why he is as successful as he is. So it is my pleasure to introduce Bob Cooper of Elite Worldwide.
Yeah, well, Gene, first of all, to all of you, and certainly to you, Gene, I've known you for many years, and you humble me. You really do. You know, I like all of you, I work really hard in every way that I can to make this world as much as I can as you do, that much better. You know, by the time I'm gone, I'm going to hope that it's going to be a little bit better. There's going to be a blade of grass that's going to be a little bit greener. So, Gene, for you to all those kind things, again, is very, very humbling. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. To the rest of you, I have had the opportunity of meeting many of you over the years. And it was actually Gene that reached out to me a few months ago, asking me if I would be interested in spending this time with you. And I decided to do that, but let me tell you why. And please understand I'm not making a political or a social statement. I view today as an environment, the first time in my life, where I've seen a vacuum of leadership at every level. Again, I'm not making a political statement. I'm just talking about life in general. If you want to talk about politics, if you want to talk about spirituality, if you want to talk about philosophies, if you want to talk about economics, if you want to talk about racial matters, if you want to talk about ethnicities, it doesn't matter what it is. It seems like there's divisiveness everywhere. And in all these years that I've been on this planet, I've never seen such an incredible thirst that people have for leadership. And I know each and every one of you have a lot to bring to the table, to help others, to help the people in your sphere, in your world, become better leaders. Not just you yourself, but to help them as well. So when Gene said, would you come in and spend some time with these guys and gals, I thought it would be an honor to be able to do it. And from a qualification point of view, I'm the last guy in the world to suggest that I have all the answers. I really don't. But, I think if we continue learning, if we continue pushing ourselves, if we continue to grow, if we continue to keep an open mind, no matter what it is that we do better, we could get better every single day, and we could become better leaders every single day at the same time. So again, Gene, thank you for the kind words. Very thoughtful of you. Joseph, if it's okay with you, I got some slides that I put together for you guys I'd like to put up. So can we go ahead and can I do that? And can we do maybe a screen share or something?
I made you a co-host, so you should be able to share your screen.
Ooh, I'm a lucky guy. So let's try this if we could, okay? Let's see. So I'm going to have to go down here. I'm going to have to exit out of here then and share my screen, right, Joseph?
Well, there should be a little button at the bottom that says share screen.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just not popping up right here. Hang on 1 second. I'll get there, Joseph. Here we go. There we go. And here we go. So let's do this and let's do share.
There you are.
Okay, we're good, guys and gals? We're good?
Yep.
Okay. I know that your time is valuable. And like Joseph said earlier, if you have any questions, I'll do everything that I can. Not that I have the answers, because I'll possibly, hopefully have a few, but anything I could do to help you along the way, please let me know. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you. For those of you that may not be familiar with who we are, I believe every company, and I'm speaking to all of you as business owners, but again, everything that you're going to hear today, I am confident you can apply to your personal life as well. But we all need to, first and foremost, we need to understand who we are as individuals, and that transcends into our business. As an organization, as an organization, this is who we are. We live by a principle of never putting money ahead of people. I can't say it differently than that. Dollars, if you want to have a great life, if you want to have a great business, dollars are important. But the first thing that we have to do is we have to understand the importance of people. If we never compromise our ethics, if we never compromise our values, we can do some really cool things. So this is who we are. This is our DNA. And I remind all the guys and gals that work with me every single day is what this is all about. Our company, this is our mission statement here. All of the guys and gals that work with us as business development coaches, all of our trainers, everybody. The cool thing about them, people like Gene that's online with us today, they all own and operate the top shops in America, or they owned and operated the top shops in America and they retired. And we help guys and gals just like you in countless different ways, whether it be sales training. We've trained more advisors than all the other companies out there combined. So we do sales training, we do coaching, we do one-on-one consulting. If you're just looking for a shot in the arm or some ideas, online training, all different kind of services. But what's most important when you look at where it says about our company, this is our mission statement. If you look halfway through it, it says, well, elevating the industry that we love so much. And this is what Gene was referring to at the same earlier. This is at the center of our heart as well, that we want to make this industry a better industry for all. This is what we do. This is what I just suggested. We have peer groups, consulting, all different kinds of services. Now, that's enough about me and about our company, all right? Let's talk about how you can benefit tonight. Do everything that you can do to make sure that it's uninterrupted. Please take good notes. Feel free to ask questions. Joseph's going to help us with that. And most importantly, never forget this cardinal rule, all right? Thinking leads to behavior, and behavior leads to results. Thinking always leads to how we behave, and behavior leads to results. So if you don't like the results that you're getting in your life, I'm going to recommend that you behave a little bit differently. How do you behave differently? By thinking differently. Where people get in trouble is they get what we call analysis paralysis. They're anxious and they're not able, or they find it difficult to pull the trigger and apply what they learned. So please make a commitment, please, 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 to apply what you learned tonight. That way you're going to get the benefit that you're looking for. And of course, make a commitment to your success. So I know that you're here to hear about the content and leadership. And again, the time that we're going to spend together is all about you. So just put this thought in the back of your mind. We're going to be talking about your business. More importantly, we're going to be chatting about each and every one of you. All right. First things first, guys and gals, we got to understand what leadership is. If you go and if you Google Mother Google, and if you look for leadership, you're going to find 1,000 different answers, definitions as to what leadership is. And I came to the conclusion, rightfully or wrongfully, I came to the conclusion, this is my personal definition of leadership: living your life in a way where others will want to follow. As a parent, you have to be a great leader. As a teacher of children, you have to be a great leader. If you're a man or a lady of the cloth in a spiritual environment, you have to be a great leader. If you're running a business, you have to be a great leader. What does this mean? This means you have to live your life in a way where others will want to follow. It's much like all of you that have children. I've always argued, kids aren't going to do what we ask them or tell them to do, right? They're going to do what they see us do. If we want our children to not smoke, we need to not smoke. If we want them to do drugs or alcohol, we need to not do drugs or alcohol. If we want them to have a core principle of ethics, then what we need to do is we need to show them a core principle of ethics. So this is what leadership really is. The best way of defining it, from my point of view, is asking yourself, are you living your life in a way where others are going to look at you and go, you know what? I like the path that you're on. I want to follow you. I want to be more like you, do more what you're doing. Now, there's a difference in management and leadership. And I want to make sure that there is no misunderstanding between these two either, all right? We just talked about leadership. What is management? Well, management, leaders ensure that things are the right things are being done. Managers ensure that things are done right. So a leader is a guy or gal that puts together the plan for winning the battle, right? For winning the world, for conquering the world. That's what the leader does. The manager is the person that makes sure that the right tanks are there, that the right infantry is there, that things are done the way they need to be done. Now, the important thing for us to understand as business owners, because sometimes I think it gets a little confused, is we're not sure which hat we're wearing. Are we leaders or are we managers? Well, you know, in our world as business owners, with all due respect, you're both. You have to fulfill the role of the leader of your organization, where people will look at each and every one of you and go, you know what? I want to follow you. I like the path that you're on. I want to be a part of what you're building. I want to be a part of where you're going with your life. And then what managers do is they make sure that all of that happens. And as a shop owner or the owner of any kind of business, you have to make sure that you're able to effectively manage as well. So I thought for tonight, you know, even though we're talking about leadership, I thought, you know what, it's probably going to be the right thing to do with you guys and gals, to drop in some points of management as well. They're going to help you as well. So that's the difference of the two. All right. First things first. And some of you, any of you that have known me for a while, you've probably heard this from me in the past. Over the years, I've had hundreds, who knows, maybe thousands of shop owners come to our company asking us for job descriptions. They'll say, yeah, what are you looking for, Larry? Well, I'd like to get a job description for my advisors. Well, what do you mean a job description? Well, I would love to have something in writing so they'll know exactly what they're supposed to do every single day. Oh, I got it. So you want a step-by-step item that lists all the tasks and all the responsibilities for your advisor. Yeah, Cooper, perfect. Do you have one of those? Well, before I go any further, what about text? Would you like one for text? Oh my gosh, do you have those for text too? Well, wait a minute. Would you like one for, oh, if you got it for text, that would be great. Great, Mr. Owner. Then I have one other question. What about you? What's your job description? And every time I ask that question, God love these guys and gals. Every time I ask the question, it's a deer in the headlight. This is the answer that I will normally hear. My job description, Cooper? Well, you know, I'm an ASC Master Tech, so I'll help out the guys in the shop. We get really busy. If we get buried at the service counter, I'll pitch in. Hey, if the phone's ringing, I'll pick up the phone. Actually, Cooper, let me tell you something. If a customer needs a ride home, customers are really important to me. I'll take them home. If a car needs to be done that day, I'll help. You know what, Cooper? If the restrooms need to be cleaned, I'm going to clean them. You know why, Bob? The reason that I'll do that is because I don't want one of my guys expected to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And they'll tell me that in a very proud way. And you know what? I get it. I understand where their head is. I get it. With all due respect, not one of those items that I just named off belongs on your job description as a business owner. Not one. I'm not saying those aren't important items. They're important to other people, but not to you. Your job description, very short, very profound. I'm going to give you a quick rundown on it, all right? Number one, setting goals of the company. Somebody's got to do it. What's your company going to look like next year, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, 2035? What is your company going to look like in the next 5 to 10 years? I'm Bob Cooper. I am an ASC tech. I'm 25 years old. I want to come and work with you. I'm not interested in a JOB. I already have a JOB. I'm interested in being part of something big. I want to know what my future is going to look like over the next 5 or 10 years. What's your company goals going to look like? So you need to take the time, you need to take the deep breath, and you need to make sure that you have clearly defined long-term goals in place. It's going to be great for you. It's going to be great for recruiting. It's going to be great for the people. It's going to take stress out of your life. It's going to make you happier. You're going to earn a higher income. Everything is going to stem from this. And don't forget, when you set those goals, make sure that they're inspirational goals. When you set those goals that you're going to have for 2021, 22, 23, 24, make sure that they're goals that will take your breath away. Because if they're everyday, average, mundane goals, they're not going to get you excited. If you're not excited, it just isn't going to work. So number one, set the goals of the company. Number two, create a plan. How are you going to get from here to there? Yeah, you're going to go from San Diego to New York. Okay, great. What's the plan? How are you going to do that? Are you going to drive? What are you going to do? You're going to take a train? How are you going to do this? So you need to have a plan for how you're going to reach those goals. Number three, never forget, you can't do it on your own. None of us can. None of us can. You have to have extraordinary people. So that means you have to hire the superstars. So it starts with the end in mind. What are your goals? Number two, what is the plan? How are you going to get from here to there? Number three, who's going to help you drive the truck or drive the car or whatever it is that's taking you from here to there? Number four, don't miss this one, guys. Don't miss this one. Don't miss this one. It's your JOB. Now I'm getting into the management stuff as well now. It's your JOB to bring out the best in the people that work with you. Full-time job, guys. This never stops. 24/7, this is your job. And when you take a look at the words here, if you ask all the people that work with me at the Elite, everyone will give you the same answer. Nobody works for me. I don't have one person that works for me. They all work with me. It's sort of like a mindset. So this is your job. So number one, set the goals. Number two, create the plan. Number three, hire the stars. Number four, bring out the best in the people. And you could probably imagine what number five is, right? Ensure the success of the company. This means you are no longer going to use the word, we're going to try to hire a tech. We're going to try to open up a second location. We're going to try to get this equipment. We're going to try to increase our market share. No. You're going to tell yourself, we are going to accomplish these goals. So this is your job description. And by the way, any of you that would like a copy of this, copy of your job description, it was probably about 10 years ago. I put together probably a 15, 20-page document that really dives into this. If you want to send me an email, send it to b.cooper@eliteworldwide.com. I'll provide you with a PDF copy of a job description for shop owners. It's not just 5 bullet points, but it dives into all of these. So that's your job description. Now, I know the other thing that's going through your head. Okay, Cooper, we're here to talk about leadership and some management things too. But Cooper, you don't get it. You don't understand how busy I am at my shop. Look, we're busy, we're buried. I don't have time to do these things. When it comes to recruiting or creating a plan or working on the goals, you know, Bob, we're buried, man. Look at all the, you know what? You do have the time. It's a matter of priorities. You have the same 24 hours a day that Jeff Bezos has at Amazon. You have the same 24 hours a day that Bill Gates had when he was with Microsoft. We all have the same 24 hours a day. So it's not a matter of do you have the time? It's a matter of what are you doing as the leader of your company with your time? There's where it gets important. So take a look at this, guys. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the 4 quadrants of time management, but this is the late great Stephen Covey. He was the brainchild of this, and it makes all the sense in the world. if you take a look at how you invest your time, it's always going to be in one of 4 quadrants. Let's take a look at it. Q1 is where you're working on things that are important and urgent. You drop in sales. Uh-oh, I got to do something. I got to do something now. Declining car counts. Uh-oh, drop in profits. You lose a lead technician. Of course, this is important. So these are things that you're all dealing with on a regular basis. The term that we have in the industry, the auto repair industry, is we're putting out fires. This list is probably familiar to all of you guys, right? So you know what most shop owners do? God bless you. And I ran shops as well. You know what we do? We spend a lot of time in Q1. We do. Now take a look at this. Before I go any further, it says important and urgent. Let's make sure that we understand, as funny as this sounds, there's a difference between those two. Urgent is anything that's screaming for your attention, but that doesn't make it important. Just because something is urgent doesn't make it important. We can't forget that. Our old school, maybe the mentors that we had that told us that we need to be on the floor cleaning restrooms, maybe the mentors that told us we need to be chasing parts, maybe when they told us that, things that were urgent, maybe they told us that those are important. You know what? Those aren't important. Urgent is anything that's clamoring for our attention. Important is anything that's critical to the success of the mission. That one car that really needs to go today by 4 o'clock, with all due respect to the car, the customer, and your business, it's not important. What's more important is the goals. What's more important is you're working on the plan. What's more important is you're recruiting the superstars that you need to get the cars done on time. So we got to understand the difference in urgent and important. So let's go back to that quadrant that I just showed you a minute ago, all right? So what most shop owners do is they live in Q1 and they get tired. So you know where they go? Q3. Here's the phone ringing. Tell me if this makes sense. Ring, ring, ring phone. Now, that's not important to your job. It's important to the shop, to the manager, to the advisor, but not you. Dirty restroom, same thing. So shop owners will live in 1, live in 3, live in 1, live in 3, live in 1, live in 3. This is where they spend their day. And then they become tired. Whether it be 4 o'clock in the afternoon or Friday, you know where they go? They go here, Q4. This is where our brain unplugs. They start working on things that are really not important, nor are they urgent. Just like you're looking at right here, take a call from a friend, opening the mail or whatever. Just sort of like, let's just call it decompressing. So they go 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4. And there's one quadrant that they really don't invest any time in. And you know where it is, right? It's Q2. Take a look at this. How could we disagree? If any of us as business owners spent more time in Q2, there's never going to be a promise that Q1 or Q3 will go away. That'll never happen. But I can promise you, if you spend more time in Q2, you will spend less time in Q1. That's a reality. Your drop in sales may have came from not planning. Your drop in sales or car counts may have came from not having the goals in place. Your drop in sales or drop in profits may have came from not having the right people in place, the right tech or the right advisor or whatever it is. So if you spend more time setting the company goals, creating your marketing plan, connecting with the stars, praising the employees to keep them at peak performance, managing courses, joining groups like you have tonight, the less time you're going to spend in Q1. So the reality of it is, one of the things that I've learned over the years is if you want to grow a really great company, not a JOB, but a really great company that has great resale value and you're going to help a lot of people, one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to become really good at managing your time. This means you're going to have to delegate, you're going to have to eliminate, you're going to have to say no. All of you that are shop owners, I'm going to poke you in the nose a little bit for one reason, because I care about you. If you go to work and unless you are the full-time advisor on the front counter, unless that's the case, if that phone rings, you should not pick it up. What you need to do is you need to have a list. You need to put together a list of all of the names of the people that you will take a phone call from during the day. I'm going to give you some examples, all right? The teachers at your kids' school, your doctors, your immediate family members, your wife is an example, your children, of course, your banker, of course. So you need to put together a list of all of the people that you will be willing to be interrupted of and take a call from that person. Then what you need to do is at your next team meeting, share that list with everybody and post that list by every phone. Then when somebody calls and they say, yeah, hey, is Tim available? Whoever picks up the phone, other than Tim, I see Tim. When somebody picks up that phone, they need to say, may I ask who's calling, please? And when they look at that list, if that name isn't on that list, all that they need to say, well, unfortunately, he's not available to take a call at this time. Would you like me to take a message, or would you like me to put you into his voicemail? But the point is now Tim is not being interrupted. Tim now is using his time to work on things that are more important than taking a call from somebody where he doesn't even know who that caller is. So you add up all of these minutes throughout the day that are being taken away from you by doing things like taking calls that God bless you that you should not be taking. And cleaning, when I talk about cleaning a restroom, guys, it's not about pride. Ask my wife, Karen. Ask her who cleans the restrooms at our home. It's not Karen, right? You know, so the point that I'm trying to make is I am not above that. I don't want to be misunderstood, but just think this through, all right? If a young technician's working with you and if he sees you on your hands and knees cleaning the restroom, he needs to ask himself, do I want to grow up and do I want to be like him or her? Is that what I want to see myself doing 20 years from now, cleaning the restroom? It doesn't mean that it's not important. It doesn't mean that your customers aren't important. I don't want to be misunderstood. They're all important, but it's not a job that you should be doing. So if you have a choice to make, either spend the next hour working on your goals or spend the next hour cleaning the restroom, knowing that you might lose a customer or two, I would say, God bless the customers, lose a customer or two over the dirty restroom and get those goals done. I would say, let that one part sit on the shelf. Don't get that car done. Get your plan done, whatever it is. So this is a discipline. The fact that you're here tells me that you have discipline. This is a discipline you have to apply to your life. So what I do is every week, I have a checklist, a master checklist that I use of everything that is important that I have to work on. And I go into my calendar and I populate it throughout the month with all the things that I need to work on. So then I actually have dates set with myself. That means 3 o'clock to 4:30 on the afternoon on Tuesday. Maybe I'll be working on marketing or whatever. And everybody knows that I'm not going to be interrupted during the time that I'm working on the things that are truly important. So we started the conversation over here about leadership. We started the conversation over here about a vacuum in society of leaders. And we started talking about management. But in reality, it comes back to you. And the first person that you have to effectively lead and more effectively manage is yourself. So if you want to get to the next level, which all of you can, we all need to always strive for the next level, you're going to have to become one great manager of your single greatest asset, and it's your time. You're going to then have to understand what is truly important, and it's your job description, setting the goals of the company, creating the plan, hiring amazing people, bringing out the best in the guys and gals that work with you, and ensuring the success of the company. So how do you, when you start on this journey, how do you get from here to there? Well, you need to have a compass. I'm going to encourage all of you to really fine tune your leadership skills. You need to have a compass in place. Here's some things that I want you to consider. Number one, your goals are going to keep you focused. When you set your goals, make sure that they're inspirational goals, as I mentioned earlier. Where guys and gals get in trouble every single time in life is they set goals that have realism. I understand the importance of realism. You have to have realism when you have your midterm and short-term goals, but your long-term goals, those could be anything that you dream about. If you believe in your heart that you could have 3 stores within the next 3 years, you know what? I believe you. If you believe that you could double your sales within the next 2 years, I'm the last guy in the world that's going to question you. The reality of it is, when you set your goals, they have to be the kind of goals going to get you jazzed in the morning, keep you jazzed all day, get you jazzed at night. And then that way, when you're talking to the people that work with you, all your employees, they're going to get jazzed too. Your goals will serve as a compass. Number 2, your mission statement. If you haven't written your mission statement yet, you need to write your mission statement. It took us, you're going to laugh at me when I tell you this, it took us probably 6 months to write our mission statement. Because we did not want a mission statement that just sounded like a bunch of words thrown together. It's the mission of the elite to help a lot of shop owners and have a profitable company and give back to the, come on. We wanted to make sure that every word that was carefully thought of. When you finish your mission statement, you need to put it everywhere. In our case, it's on the back of our business cards. It's on our workbooks. It's in our PowerPoint slides. It is literally everywhere. If I was in the auto repair business today, and if you walked into Elite Auto Repair and you saw the smiley face service advisors there, right behind them on the wall back here, what you would see in blazing, screaming letters would be our mission statement. You know why? Because it would allow not only every customer that walks in, but it would allow every employee that comes in the morning to be reminded of the mission that we're on, what we're looking to accomplish, how we, with your business, Elite Auto Repair, is making this world, making this community a better community for all. That way, when somebody walks in, they look at it and they go, wow, man, these guys, you know, these guys really do care. This is not about money. This is not about fixing cars. This is about making the world a better place for all of us. So you need to have a mission statement. Number 3, guiding principles. Guys and gals, you absolutely have to put together your guiding principles. We have a list of 12 guiding principles. We live by them. And what I do is every team meeting that we have, we meet every other week. One of the things that we'll do is we will revisit one of our guiding principles. We cycle through them like that throughout the year. That way, I'm constantly reminding the guys and gals that work with me of not only our mission statement, but what our guiding principles are. This helps remind them of all the things that are important. The importance of exceptionalism, the importance of never putting money ahead of people, the importance of humility, the importance of honesty. This is all on our guiding principles. The guiding principles that we have at Elite, by the way, I'm going to take a shot at this. Since you have a different business model, there's going to be some things that are going to be different in our guiding principles than yours. Our guiding principles, like I told you earlier, our mission statement took 6 months or so. Our guiding principles probably took close to a year to put together. If you want to send me an email and say, Cooper, would you send me a copy of your guiding principles? I will send you a copy of the guiding principles that we have at Elite. And you might look at them and you might find bits and pieces that go, you know what? I'm going to morph this or morph that, and I'm going to change this or change that, or it might just spark you some ideas. But if you don't already have guiding principles, and if you're interested in seeing what some could look like, send an email to me, b.cooper@eliteworldwide.com, and say, hey, Cooper, you mentioned your guiding principles in JavaScript. I'd be more than happy to give it to you guys. It's the least that I could do. Because if it helps you better implement your mission statement and your guiding principles in your business, then by de facto, I'm helping you become a better leader. By de facto, I'm doing that. Because the people are going to look at you and they're going to go, oh, this is cool. This is the path that I want to follow. Your culture. Don't get these confused. They're all different. They're all different. Your goals are where you're going, the objective. The mission is the journey. The culture is the glue that holds you together. If I'm Bob Cooper and if I come to work with any of you and if I'm an ASC technician, no matter how good I am or not, I hope that you agree with me. If you're not really careful, what I do with you every single day, if you're not really careful, it's going to turn into a job. That is when you're going to get in trouble. Once it becomes a job, then my excitement, my passion, and everything else starts to wane. So with the mission, by constantly reminding your guys and gals about this mission, what you're doing is your company, how you're making your community a better community, how you're helping the moms and dads, how you're helping the children that need so much help today, how you're helping the underprivileged. The more you keep that in front of them, the more they'll appreciate the mission. So the goal is over here, the mission is the journey, and the culture is the glue that holds together. You need to find whatever your culture is. Every business, all of your shops, by the way, you all have a culture in all of your shops. The interesting thing is, I don't know what that culture is. And with all due respect, since I don't know all of you, with all due respect, you might not even know what the culture is in your business. But I will promise you, there's a culture in your company. You need to make sure that it's a culture that's in harmony with your guiding principles and your mission statement. And you need to put that everywhere too. So our culture, ideally, is one of ethics. It doesn't mean that there can't be other cultures. I don't want to be misunderstood. But this is like the bond, the glue that sort of holds us all together, brings us together as a family, because we all have this in common. That's why when I'm interviewing people, I pay very close attention to the kind of principles that they live by and what their culture is, because it's going to tell me if they're going to fit really good into who we are. So step number two, number one, you need to know what your job is. And step number, you got to have a compass, keep you focused. Number three, Lord of mercy, you got to have the right people and you have to have the right systems in place. And I know that you guys know this. I know that you do. When you're recruiting, and all of you that have known me for any period of time, you've heard this probably far more times, God bless you, than you should. But when you're recruiting, look for these three things: attitude, aptitude, and ethics, and forget everything else. If they don't have the right attitude, I don't care how gifted they are, they're going to kill you in your business. If they don't have the right aptitude, the God-given brain cells to do the job very well and grow with your company, they're going to hit a ceiling with you. And if they don't have the right ethics, by the time they get to you, you know, then you're probably going to have a difficult time getting them to look at life a little bit differently. So when you're recruiting, make sure that you have guys and gals that share your principles, your ethics. Make sure that they have the aptitude, the God-given brain cells, to not necessarily just do the job now, but to grow into whatever you are looking for them to grow into, and make sure that they have the right attitude. These are guys and gals that have to believe that the world's a great place and tomorrow's going to be a better day. They have to have the right attitude. Number two, make sure that there are people, like we talked about earlier, that fit really well into your culture. Number three, this is huge. This is huge. You need to have team meetings that bring people together into one. I'm going to tell you what we do. And some of you that know us intimately well, I'm sure that you're aware of this. Whenever I find a book that I think is a really great book that's going to help people personally as well as in their career with us, I'll buy them a copy of it for everybody in the company. And I'll give it to them. And I'll say, here's what you need to do. Between now and our next team meeting, I expect you to read the first 2 chapters, the first 35, 40 pages. And then I want you to come to the team meeting and I want you to be prepared to do 2 things. Tell me your greatest takeaways, you know, what really epiphanies you had out of those first 2 chapters. And then I want you to tell me how you're going to apply what you discovered to your personal life and how you're going to apply it to your career work with us. And what's really cool is when we go around a table and everybody shares their discoveries, what's really cool is the same 30, 40 pages, everybody will have different takeaways. And we all learn from one another. But here's where it gets really cool. It brings us together like this. Because now we start to find that commonality that we all have. This has been a game changer for us. Every employee that works with me, they tell me their breath is taken away when they realize what this does for them. When you're looking at the books, if you're just looking for some names that you might want to consider, when people come to work with us, the first thing that they're going to receive is a copy of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, because this is an easy read. It can help them with their social life, their personal life, their children, and with us. There's just a number of really wonderful books. All the Maxwell books are just absolutely wonderful books. Ethics 101, Attitude 101. These are all real easy to read books that can help bring your people together. You know what else they'll do for you if you do what I'm asking you to do? Is at the end of those meetings, when those guys go home and they start telling their loved ones about what you're doing and how you're helping them become a better person, that's leadership. They're going to then say, you know what? I like working with this guy or this gal. This is the person who cares about me as a person. I would like to follow them. I would like to be more in line with whatever they're going, whatever they're doing with their life or their business or their career. So team meetings, book reads are really a great way to do that. Q2 time for you. Guys and gals, I think it goes without being said. In order to have the right systems in place, one of those things that has to be in the system is you have to have your calendar out and you have to set dates with yourself to work on your business. Now, when you do this, you might think, well, you don't have time. You do. And I'm going to give you a couple tips for those of you that really haven't jumped into the water really deep in doing this when it comes to time management. Choose one item. Start with your long-term goals. If you don't have those clearly defined, or if they need to be refined or revisited, start with your long-term goals. And even if you set 2 hours during a week, I'm perfectly fine with that to start. 2 hours a week. And tell yourself hell is going to freeze over before you'll sacrifice those 2 hours. And you need to tell your family, you need to do whatever you need to do to say those 2 hours are my time. That's Q2 time. I'm going to be working on the goals. You cannot be disturbed. Number 2, tune out anybody that tells you that you could do what I'm asking you to do at work. Tune them out, don't tune them in. Because I've worked in auto repair shops, I've owned auto repair shops, I know what it's like. You can't effectively get your head into Q2 and be in your office at the same time. Because as we all know, you're going to hear that phone ring in the background, right? You're going to hear those, you're going to hear the service bay doors. So the reality of it is you really need to be disconnected from the shop and the operations of the shop in order to spend time in Q2. So get out a calendar, just like exercise, just like going to church, just like spirituality, set time to work on the most important part of your life, which is you and managing your time. So you could do what you need to do, which is work on your job description, setting the goals, creating the plan, bringing the people in, and becoming a really great, effective manager and assuring the success of the company. Number 4, you have to inspire. That has nothing to do with tonality. That has nothing to do with presentation or how you speak. People are going to listen to your heart. They're not going to listen to your words. They're going to pay, is this guy for real or not? Is this gal for real or not? Does she really care, or is this lip service that she's giving me? So you have to inspire the people that work with you. And how do we do that? Number 1, please, let's get humility in here. Make sure that you have a mindset that people work with you and not for you. There's no need for hierarchy. There was a time back in, maybe the early part of the last century when it was a pyramid, the hierarchy, and the president was at the top and everybody was underneath them and they demanded it. We don't need to live in that world anymore. At any given day, you can tell somebody they're no longer working with you. So, when people realize that you're not putting yourself above them, you just have a different role and responsibility than they have, they'll have a far greater appreciation for you. When they realize you have that kind of mindset, humility. So number 1, if you want to inspire the people that work with you, make sure that they understand that you work with them and they don't work for you. This is huge. Number 2, constantly speak of what you're creating in a mission. Constantly keep that in front of them. Constantly do that. Let them know, because it's sort of like I'll always tell Karen and other people in my life, say, we don't go to church to be converted. If you go to church on any given Sunday, rarely are people there to be converted. They're there to be reminded, right? So when it comes to your mission statement, when it comes to your principles, when it comes to your goals, out of sight, out of mind. If you're not reminding the guys and gals that work with you on a regular basis about the goals, about the mission of the company, then you have my promise. It's going to be forgotten. And then somebody else is going to come along and they're going to paint them a more beautiful picture at the time of what their future could look like with these wonderful goals and this wonderful mission. Number 3, this is huge. And I know this is more in the management than leadership. This is huge. Make a point to praise the person as a person, not just their performance. This is huge. So, anybody can do a great job if they work hard at it. But you know what? You're only born as you one time around. You really are. So when you're able to talk to a technician, as an example, say, hey, Larry, you know what? First of all, I would like to thank you for getting all that work out last week. I know that we were absolutely buried. You put in the extra hours, and I just want to let you know, I really appreciate everything that you do for us. But you know what I appreciate more than that? I appreciate you for being the person that you are. You really are a remarkable individual. You are. These are things that they probably rarely hear. In the past, when they worked with other people, this is something that they didn't hear. They need this oxygen, as we all do. They need to know that they're doing a good job. They need to know that they're being appreciated. This is timeless, guys. This is the principle that's absolutely timeless. I got to tell you a really quick story, a very, very, very quick story that could sort of drive this point home, all right? I had an advisor when I was still in the auto repair business here in California that I'd put up against anybody. And at the time, he had 3 advisors up front. And this one guy was the rock star of rock stars. And I will never forget, 3rd year in a row running, just record year after record year. And I walked into his office. I said, Randy, do you have this? And he said, yeah, what's up? I said, I was talking to Karen last night. You know, last month we had another record month, and month before that was an amazing record month. And, you know, this year we're ahead of last year, and last year we're ahead of last year. And Karen and I came to the agreement that we have a lot of things to be thankful for, a lot of things that have really caused this success. But Randy, I can't think of one thing, one person that's contributed more to our success than us. And I just wanted to take a minute, let you know how much Karen and I appreciate you and the person that you are. And I took this hand and I reached across the desk and shook his hand. And I'll never forget, he didn't say anything. I will never forget that. I turned around, I walked out, went back to my office. The end of the day, he knocks on my door, says, "Hey, Cooper, do you have it?" I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "I'd like to talk to you if you have just a couple minutes." I said, "Yeah, come on in." He came in, he shut the door behind him. He said, he says, "When you came in this morning and you told me about you and Karen and you thanked me for what I've done to help you guys, did you notice how I didn't say anything to you?" And I looked at him and said, "Yeah, I actually did notice that, Randy. Picked up on that." He just said, "Do you want to know why?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to hear." He says, "Because I've been in this industry for whatever the number was, 20 some years. He says, "I've been in this industry for 20 some years. He says, "Nobody has ever taken the time to step me aside and let me know how much they appreciate me in the way that you did." I was speechless. Now, if that comes from your heart when you're dealing with people, if it's genuine, then that's a game changer for you. Now they know you really do care about them. Now when they're looking at your mission, now when they're looking at your goals, you're that much more of a leader. Number 4, continue self-development as a role model that others can follow. And you all know what this means, right? If you expect your technicians to constantly develop, if you expect your advisors to constantly improve their skills, if you expect anybody to, if you expect your children to constantly be improving, then why not you? You know, that technician, when he sees you going home or when he comes in the morning, he needs or she needs to know that you are working really hard at becoming a better you. The books that you read, the courses that you take, what effort it is. This is what you need to do with your children. From my point of view, this is what you need to do with the people that work with you as well. Number 5, if you want to inspire the people that work with you, I know that you know that this is a given. You can never, this is the line you just can't cross. So last but not least, you know, to become an effective leader. And I put a lot of thought into this in the short time that we have together. If I could share some takeaways with you, which would be the most important. Here's number 5. You need to believe in a number of different things. Number 1, you need to believe in your abilities. You do have the opportunity. You do have the ability to do many amazing things. You do. That's not being egotistical or boastful. It's a reality. When you look at how the world's been made a better world by so many different people, I mean, so many of these people that changed the world were average guys and gals, just like you and me. But you know what? They believed. They believed in their abilities. They really did. Number 2, you got to believe in your continued growth. You got to tell yourself, I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to grow until the day I die. Number 3, you got to believe in your goals, and you have to believe in your mission. It has to just be a part of your DNA. The people that work with you. If we as business owners think that we have challenging days, what about the guys and girls that work with us? You know, I've met so many owners over the years, as you guys have, where they'll say to their employees, you know what, don't bring your personal problems to work. You know, we turn that completely upside down. If people have personal issues, I prefer that they bring them to work. I want to hear about them. You know, look, I can't be there forever all the time. I can't be a crutch, but I can be a shoulder. I can be empathetic. I can be understanding. These guys and gals have rough lives too. You know, it was Socrates that said, be careful with what you say because everybody is fighting their own battle. The guys and gals that work with you, they got rough days too. They got rough times ahead. They got to deal with the kids. They got to deal with the concerns of the virus and everything else. So what we need to do is we really need to believe in them, and they need to know that we believe in them. Number 5, and this one, guys and gals, this one's huge to me. And I guess this brings it all the way back full circle the way I opened up this meeting this evening with all of you. If you look at all of these guys and gals that made the world a better place, and if you go into any of these universities today, if you mention the name Albert Einstein, I'm going to make you a promise. If you mention the name Albert Einstein in any university today, the first thing that all the students and the professors will start telling you about is E equals MC2, mass, matter, energy, black holes. They will talk to you about physics. They believe that Albert Einstein's greatest gift was mass over matter, the understanding of physics. With all due respect, and I'm not the brightest guy in the room for sure. With all due respect, I disagree with them. Personally, I believe the greatest gift that Albert Einstein gave to each and every one of us and to society is a quote. I'm going to tell you word for word what Albert Einstein said at one time. He said, given the difference in creativity and intelligence, I would always opt for creativity because anything mankind can imagine, mankind can create, end quote, Albert Einstein. Given the difference in creativity and intelligence, meaning the ability to dream and knowledge, given the difference in the two, creativity and intelligence, I would always offer creativity to dream because anything mankind can imagine. What he's saying is, in your mind, if you could dream 2 shops, if you could dream a summer home in the south of France, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If you can dream it, then you can build it. And, I would be the last guy in the world to argue with somebody like him. I really would be. So the question is, where do you go from here? What are the next steps that you need to take? Well, first and foremost, and a couple things that I'll provide you, a couple tips and things that I'll provide you guys, but it really does come down to application. The time that we spend here this evening, it's, from my point of view, at least the time that you were with me and not with your colleagues alone, it would be an absolute waste if you didn't take as much of this content as possible that you felt was right for you and immediately apply it to your life. Don't get analysis paralysis. Don't tell yourself, well, I'm going to do this next week or next month, because that'll never happen. The people that tell me, well, someday I'd like to go to Europe or someday I'd like to do it, never happens. Everything that I'd ask you to do are all things that you all have the ability to do, and you all have the ability to do them immediately. Tomorrow morning, when you go to bed tonight, everything that we talked about, you can forget it all. Put it all away, forget it all, and just do one thing tonight. When your head hits the pillow, dream really big. Start with the end in mind. What is your company? What is your personal life? What are your career? What is your personal goals going to look like over the next 5, 10, or 20 years? That's a great place to start for sure. The other thing I wanted to mention to you, and Joseph, if there are any questions or anything that I could do, I certainly don't want to overstay my welcome. You had mentioned about 45 minutes. I'm trying to stick within that. A couple different ways that we can help you. Well, there are actually many different ways that we can help you. Any of you that are looking for, here's where I'm at with my business, is there a way path forward? Well, if you would like to spend some, if you send a text to me, that's my personal cell, by the way. If you send a text to me, I'll get one of our business coaches on the phone with you, and they're all top shop owners like Gene. And if there's a way that we can help you, great. If for whatever reason it's not a good fit, then I understand that too. But we have lots of different ways that we can help you. That's number one. Number two, about 4 months ago, we launched something that is revolutionary for the industry. The industry has never seen anything at all like Sales Master University. And what I'm going to provide all of you, if you want to write this down, get out a pen or a pen. This is one that's going to be really easy for you guys to remember, all right? ASCCA, sound familiar, right? That's a coupon discount code that you could use. When you go to Sales Master University, you can enroll in Sales Master University. You can take it for a test drive because of your ASCCA. You can take it for a test drive the first month at absolutely no charge. Here's the deal. We listen, we train more advisors than all the other companies out there combined. We put out surveys. What do you want for sales training for your advisors? Well, we don't want it to be too frequent. Well, we want it to be at hours that work well with us. Well, we want it to be affordable. We listen to everything that you were looking for. And we built Sales Master University to do just that. It's almost like I don't want to confuse you with it, but it's almost like a drip method of training for your advisors that they can take advantage of at any time. That means if one of you sign up and if you enroll your advisor in SMU, he will have immediate access to the first lesson. Every 2 weeks, he will have access to another new lesson. Every 2 weeks, he'll have access. The lessons last about 45 minutes long. The lessons are instructed by Jen Monslus, our certified sales and leadership trainer. She was a Ratchet and Wrench All-Star Award winner actually last year. It's taught by Jen Monslus, and when your advisor's watching the video, he's not only going to see Jen, but he's also going to see one of the top advisors. We're always changing the advisors from the country, and one of the top shop owners throughout the country. Jen will teach, share some tips. The advisor and the owner will then talk about how they're implementing it in their business. You're absolutely going to love it. Now, here's where it gets really cool. Your advisor could watch that video. It's about 40 minutes long. Once your advisor's done watching the video, he then has the ability to complete some assignments and check them off and take a test. If he fails the test, he can take it again. He can watch the video again, take it again. What's really cool for you as owners, you could go in there and you could see if he's completed the video. You could see if he's completed the assignments. You could see if he's passed the test. It's just that easy. So this way you get a constant stream of ongoing sales training for your advisor that's ethic-based. Content works like a champ. You're going to love it. And it's a month-to-month subscription. There's no contract. It's only $49 a month. And again, you can cancel at any time. If you use that code, you get the first month at no charge. If you don't like it, then just cancel it and you're out. Now, why are we offering this? Forget the $49 being way for you guys. Why are we offering it for only $49 when so many people, shop owners, have told us it needs to be closer to $100 a month? Because we're using it as a marketing tool. We're using it to get guys and gals just like you to have a chance to take us for a test drive and sample us. And we tell ourselves, you know what, if they go to SMU and after a couple months, 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it is, they go, you know what, I really like this. My advisor's giving me some great feedback. He's got some great tips. Then we're going to be at the top of your mind. And then if you're looking for other sales training, if you're looking for other services, peer groups, coaching, whatever it is, you'll reach out to us. So the promise that I can make you is you can't lose. It's only $49 a month. There's no agreement. And because of who you are, you can take advantage of this offer. Text, if you want more information on our other services, send a text to me. And lastly, Gene, you brought this to my attention earlier. Mitchell reached out to us about 3 months ago, wanting to know if we would partner up with them and do some webinars. And I told the good people at Mitchell that I would be interested in doing a customer panel. And Gene might remember the one that I did for the for Pro Service about 10 years ago. Mitchell loved the idea. We have over 1,000 people, big number, right? For a Zoom meeting, had over 1,000 people. And it's 3 parts. The first part was today. Second part is next Tuesday. Third part is the following Tuesday. Each session is 75 minutes long. It's no charge because Mitchell's handling all of this. It's no charge. 75 minutes long. And there are 4 panelists that I'm interviewing. And I'll promise you, these would be your ideal customers. Every one of them has different attributes about them that would make them the ideal customer for repair shops. These are the people that are being very blunt. They're telling you what they like, what they don't like, how they respond to reviews, what they look for on your website. Today, we talked about marketing and how they're going to discover you. The next session, which is going to be next Tuesday, it's going to be all about now they're at your shop, what's the experience going to be looking like? And there we're going to talk about the sales presentation, what they want to see and don't want to see in your shop, how they expect to be greeted. That's all going to be covered. This is an eye-opener. For anybody that hasn't been through a customer panel like this in the past, it's a real eye-opener. So Mitchell and I are putting this on together at absolutely no charge to the industry. And one of the things that we told Mitchell that we would do for all of their help in promoting this is we told them as well that we would give any of their attendees the opportunity to sign in and take Sales Master University for a test drive as well. at absolutely no charge. So the best advice that I could give you at this point, if you're looking for ways that we can help you, number one, Sales Master University at no charge. Number two, if you want to enroll in the remaining 2 sessions, if you do enroll in the remaining 2 sessions, you get a link to the first session that was held today. If you want to enroll in that, all that you need to do is go to the Elite website or go to mitchell1.com/events, EVENTS. It'll pop up, easy to register. Once you're registered, you're good to go for the next session, next 2 sessions, and I think you'll love them. So I've been the chatty guy, and so I need to apologize for that. Joseph, I think it's appropriate time for me to, if there's any questions, I'd love to be able to answer those. And of course, I'd like to also, if there are no questions, I'd love to thank everybody. But how about questions first, Joseph?
You know what? We didn't get any questions. We just got a lot of affirming comments from those who know you and believe what you say.
Absolutely.
Hey, I would like to say, though, this is Thomas in Valley from Crown City Tire. We came in the industry a year and a half ago, never been in the industry other than collision, and Elite has been the one to help us grow. So I got to say, thank you, Bob, and your team. I can't thank you enough for how much you helped us to get to where we're today.
Yep.
In many more years. And he didn't tell me to say this, by the way. I really feel this way about this guy. Thanks, Bob.
Oh, hey, well, thank you. Yeah, very thoughtful of you. Thank you for your kind words. That's humbling. Very thoughtful of you to do that, and it's a pleasure to see you as well.
Can I tell a Bob Cooper story? It's Randy.
Okay, I did that, Bob.
Hey, Randy.
Yes, years ago we did a probably about 35 people. It was a service advisor class that you put on in Brea. And you and I, and doggone, I forgot her name, I'm so sorry. We had lunch together. But the thing that got me was, my job was pretty much to make sure that the doors were open and there was food there, and then go home. And I'll tell you guys what, I stayed till 5 o'clock because just what Bob was saying, the amount of information was unbelievable. I was so appreciative. And I used the things to this day that Bob was teaching in that class. And thank you so much.
Thank you for your kind words. Oh, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your kind words. Well, guys, look, we're here to help. I mean, that's our mission. You know, we're here to, like you, to make this world as a better world as we can. And I hope that you agree with me when I say, unfortunately, there is a vacuum in leadership today. And this is a time for all of us to step up to the plate and do what we can do to make this world a better place for everybody that we can. There are a lot of people that have their eyes on you every single day. Your customers, the people that work with you, your vendors, all these people in your community, they're watching you. They're watching you every single day. So you are in a leadership role. So let's just make sure that we really maximize that we capitalize on that, and help a lot of other people, you know, get to the next point. And I'll just be very brief on this, and I hope that I'm not crossing a line when I say this, but I'll never forget a few years ago, I was listening to some radio disc jockeys from the LA area, and they were complaining about the people that work at McDonald's. And they said, the people that work at McDonald's, they're really, let's not count them, because they're not making anything out of their lives. I mean, they're serving hamburgers, flipping hamburgers. If they want to make something out of their lives, they need to get on with their lives. And I felt really bad when I heard that, because I thought, you know what? There are some people that can go above and beyond that. But there are a lot of people, hopefully you agree with me, there are a lot of people, that's as good as it's ever going to get for them, because the good Lord only gave them a certain number of brain cells or abilities. Are y'all with me on this? You know, we all have that rheostat, that built-in, we're only going to be able to do this. So my point is, for some people, being able to get up and go to work at McDonald's every day and being able to provide for their children, to me, those are heroes. That's what I'm trying to say. For them, they are giving it their all. They're trying as hard as they can do. So there are always going to be people that are going to be looking at them as well, their children and other people, as leaders, as role models. These are the roles that we have. These are the responsibilities that we have. So at this point, I would like to thank all of you. I don't want to overstay my welcome. I apologize. I would like to thank all of you for allowing me to be here tonight. I would encourage all of you to take advantage of Sales Master University. The code is ASCCA. You're not going to be able to lose. You're going to love what you discover. I would encourage you to enroll in the remaining 2 Mitchell 1 Elite webinars with the customer panel. If you do, I see Gene up there shaking his head. He was with us today. I think you're going to be blown away with what you learn from those customers. And if there's any other way that we can help, if you want that job description that I mentioned earlier, the guiding principles, that's easy too. Just send me a text, or send me an email. Hey, Cooper, can you send that to me? And I'll get it to you as soon as possible.
Hey, Gene, did you want to say something? Gene, were you raising your hand? You wanted to say something?
No, I was just clapping and saying good job.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys and gals. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity of being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks. Thanks again for allowing me to join you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
All
Bob,
right.
so much.
Kurt,
Thank you.
back to
Bye-bye.
you.
That was incredible.
All right, Kirk.
Great job. I guess next we're gonna have Joseph pull into the magic drawing and see what's
Yes.
going on.
I don't
All
think I
right.
have a.
Before we
I
could all
don't think I have a
go
ball in
and
there.
go
I
to
think
bed.
I'm getting cheated.
Anybody who doesn't want to interested in this next part, sign off now.
All right, we're going to draw 4 numbers, and these are for Chapter 5 members, so if you're not a member, sorry. If your number is drawn, you'll have the choice of either $100 credit on your chapter dues, the chapter portion of your dues, or $50 cash. So,
And I'd like to make another note thing when Joseph's doing this. Joseph's church is this, because of everything going on with coronavirus, they're doing a drive-through Halloween for the kids that can't go out trick-or-treating. Yeah, Joseph, you didn't know I was going to throw this up at you. But anybody that wants to help out, Joseph's doing a drive-through trick-or-treating for the kids in the area. Every year his church does a trick-or-treating where they have all kinds of events for the kids. This year they can't do that. But they are doing a drive-through trick-or-treating. And Joseph, I appreciate, you helping out and you doing things for the kids in the community. So anybody wants to donate money for candy or donate candy, Joseph, I know you don't want to be, this isn't part of, the ASCCA, but as a whole, anybody in the, in the area who wants to give, Joseph's more than willing to help. You want to help out. Joseph's church does a lot for the kids, a lot for the community. We really appreciate what you do for the kids, Joseph.
well, thank you, Kirk. That was unexpected. And if any of you live in the Pasadena area and you've got kids, you're welcome on Halloween afternoon to drive through and get lots of candy for your kids and experience some different lands that we have. Star Wars and Candyland for kids. Fortnite, which I have no idea what it is, but I know that it's something that the young people really like. Anyway, it's at Pasadena Foursquare Church. You can look that up online and you can get information
Is
about
Jennifer handling it again, or do you have somebody else handling it?
it. Jennifer is the inspiration behind it all, but there's a team working with her. So,
Great.
all right. So I drew some numbers here.
Joseph, I'm sorry. Can I say something before you do that?
Certainly, Ali.
Yeah. Okay. About the class Bob has today, for some reason I couldn't get in, but afternoon about 2 o'clock, I got the email from them because I'm part of the elite, and I watched that video, that conversation they have today. I suggest everybody get that one and review it 2-3 times, because what if the customer says about our industry? So what is the, from their view, they view ours, they interview us. So as a shop owner, I think it was very, very interesting when I saw it today. I'm going to watch it probably tonight. If it's not for sure for tomorrow, I'm going to listen. And I give it to my service writer to take it home and watch it too. It's very good video. I suggest it to everybody.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. The first one that I drew was number 8, which is Arts Auto Care, and he is not here tonight, and I will be happy to tell him that he missed out on it.
I will tell him tomorrow. It's my
Okay,
name.
thank you. All right, the next one we have here is number 4, which is All Car Specialist, and Paul is here.
Hey.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, Paul.
All right, Paul, did you win with this once before?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Can you donate the money to the church for Halloween?
Would you like the $50 or the $100 credit?
Just go ahead and give it to the church.
Wow. Thank you.
Donate dollars or whatever. It's fine.
Thank you very much for that, Paul. Appreciate it. All right, our next number here, number 37 on the magic list.
Jasper. Oh,
You know what? Jasper is number 38.
yeah, right.
Huntington Tire and Auto. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you can see.
That's just not fair.
I'll tell Gary tomorrow.
I always told my kids that life isn't fair. So, all right. And then the last one is number 75. Oh, and he was here last month. Vince is in Pasadena. Kirk, you'll have to let him know.
Okay, I'll let Vince know.
All right. Well, I'm glad we had one winner, and thank you very much, Paul, for
Sometimes
passing that on to the church.
Sometimes stop by, Joseph. I'll give you a check for candy.
Oh, I can do that. You're all of like 3 blocks from the church.
Yeah.
You can walk.
All right. Kirk, back to you.
Okay, I guess that's it. Everybody, thank you a lot for joining. We really appreciate. Thank you again, Bob, for what you've done for us. And again, we've got so many great people helping out our organization, and I really appreciate all the people that help out and do things for us to help us keep on track. With that, good night.
And let me just say too, I am able to post these on our website. So in a few days, it'll probably be posted on the ASCCA5.com website.
Posted what, Joseph?
The meeting, the recording
Okay.
of the meeting.
I know you recorded
Right.
it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night. Hey, everybody.
What are you waiting for?
I'm still recording too.
Wait a little bit.
I'll linger, bro. I want to see who's going to stick around. This juicy.
It isn't hanging out.
It's like when the credits are done.
It's like a movie. It's like a little trailer at the end.
Hey, Gene, thank you very much for putting this on. I mean, like the information that he talked about was timely, and what you brought to the table the last time where we had the meeting over here, I post that time quadrant on my wall, and we talked about this not even a week ago with my advisors as to what's their duties as time related and what's our duties. So, Bob sent me a text and said, thank you if you need any help. And the point is, you've already helped. If you put forth the effort and contributed, you've already helped. And the people that were here benefited from it. I appreciate it. Johanna appreciates it. Thank you, brother.